Hello, everyone watching this. I feel out of all of the YouTube videos, conferences, workshops, trainings that I've offered, this is one of the most pivotal shares I've ever given. And I want to start out by saying that if you feel restless or anxious, if you feel like you're in edge or you have a drive, or maybe even a little anxious feeling inside, there's nothing wrong with you. Welcome to the collective of what we're all feeling. What you're feeling is normal, welcomed, and it is good. Maybe we could even say that you are the chosen. If you feel like you're on edge, that is the place that you are most alive. And maybe you're feeling a little nervous, unsure, uncertain, maybe even a little dysregulated. And I want to share that that's not always a bad thing. And I understand that I speak very much and I offer a lot of regulation and teach on nervous system regulation. And what I'm saying is that there will be a time, an intentional time, where you're going to be in your growing edge, where you're being asked to take action and it feels edgy and it's unknown and you're being asked to let go and there's pressure and it is okay. It is better than okay. It is good. It is welcomed. And if you're feeling this, you are one of my sisters. Welcome. We are in this together. Hello. We are in this together. For those that don't know me, my name is Rachel Morrow. And we are going to change the world through the feminine energy. What is happening right now in the collective consciousness is this last attempt to hold on. And this goes way beyond our political systems, where our world, the systems that we currently have, are just holding on for dear life. They don't want to be in the unknown. They don't want to let go of control. And so what it feels like on the outside is things are getting worse. But they're not. This system is going to collapse. And the future will require a whole different way of being. And that is what will happen. And we're going to birth that. And I want to support you in birthing that. And at the same time, I'm incredibly excited, nervous, and it feels edgy. How this is going to happen is through the feminine energy. Now, please don't mistake the feminine energy as an ideology. I'm not speaking about the masculine versus the feminine. And certainly, if you're new to my work, I'm not talking about masculine or feminine characteristics or traits. What I am talking about is we are right now restoring the lost half of human intelligence. And that is the feminine. We are restoring the lost half of human intelligence that has been suppressed for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Now we know the feminine is rising. The feminine energy is rising, but we have still so far to go. I think in my fundraising, when you have the thermometers that indicates how much money that you've raised, we are just at the very bottom. There's just a little bit of red at the very bottom. We have so much to go before we are balanced in the masculine and feminine energy, just as human intelligence is continually co-creating this world. What we have seen is a world in masculine energy. And please, that is not a negative thing. I don't speak about that at all as a negative. We have just been masculine dominant for so long. And the masculine is about separation, consumerism, and control. And those things are not negatives either. The masculine's job is to create protection and safety. And in attempts to do that for the world and in carrying out what it's meant to do, this masculine energy, it's created a culture and the lived experience of fear and disconnection. That I'm going to control you into safety. I'm going to minimize you into safety. I'm going to take away. I'm going to make you scarce, because when we're in scarcity, we can be controlled. And so this incredible masculine energy that has integrity and strength got very wounded and very confused. But not in higher intelligence. Higher intelligence knows exactly what it's doing, and the masculine is very robust and very, very healthy, and we can take note from it. The masculine's job is to protect the feminine, so the feminine can lead and guide, and the masculine needs to return to that, to protect the feminine. And if you're in a position, right, where you cannot feed your family, you don't know how you're going to feed your family, how you're going to keep a roof over your head, then you need to be masculine energy dominant. And that's maybe how our world was at one point, where we needed to be masculine dominant for survival, because that is what the masculine is. It's self-serving, and it needs to be. We need to survive. We're nothing if we don't survive. It's the grounding. It's our grounding force. But we're at a time now where we're way beyond that. We've evolved so far past that we can now bring about the feminine, which is about the collective. The feminine does see the big picture. She does weave collectively together. It is about not working independent, having structures we call the president, the vice president. In corporations, it's the executive director. It is about truly now working collaboratively. And that is the time that we're entering in right now. And this work is about staying in the edge. This work is about staying in the edge, and I want to encourage you, sister and brother, if you're watching, to stay in the edge. Don't leave. And the call is, in this time of edge, is to continue to nurture your sacred feminine energy and start collaborating with the sacred feminine energy. Your job is to stay in that edge and to try to stay as regulated in your nervous system as you can, to continue to receive, being receiving centered, receive. So you can help contribute in birthing something new. And we don't know what that will be, but we're going to need you to be strong, succinct, full of life and vitality, creativity and energy, so you can birth something new, so you can support others. Those that are very heavily in the masculine are going to have such a hard time with this, and they are the ones that are going to need the support the most. And the longer that you're in the feminine energy, the more that you're able to be in flow and trust and be led and guided by that infinite wisdom, by the infinite design, that infinite intelligence. And we need you. So that is the very first thing. Very first thing that I want to offer us going into 2026 is, it's your job to stay in this edge, to do your number one job. Stay in this edge. Know that you are here to birth something new. That is what we're here to do. We're going to do this together, and it's your job to stay in edge and to stay as regulated as you can in your nervous system. How you do that is you keep receiving from others. The second thing that I am committed to supporting you and help heal. You're going to be asked to heal from one of these 5 things. And that will be your intention for 2026. The first might be your worth or your value. Do you need to work on healing your worthiness? Second is money. Do you need to work on your relationship with money? Seeing money as a relationship, seeing money as something good, as something collaborative, but also something that isn't yours, something that you're given. Seeing money not as something that's fragile and scary, and you have to hold on to it really, really careful as a little fragile bird, but something that has wings and it has breath and life force of its own, and it can be set free and it can easily come back to you. Something that there is an abundance of. So the first one is your worthiness. The second one is your relationship with money. Third is your ability to receive. How are you doing on your ability to receive? Not just occasionally you can receive, you have to be receiving centered. You have to be comfortable and grounded in being able to receive from everyone around you. From divine, from life force, from your family, from your friends, from your coworkers. To be able to work and live and thrive collaboratively. To weave our power together, we have to stop being independent, and we need to start to work together, and we need to lean into our vulnerability. We are human, we're always going to be human, and we need to allow our humanness to show up more and ask for help and receive help. And it's our receiving of help that helps us soften our hearts and our souls, but also helps us to stay enlivened. We are in a system where I believe the statistic is 60% of women are in burnouts because they're independent and they're feeling like they have to hold everything on their own shoulders, and that's not working. So how are you doing at receiving, even if it's uncomfortable? Allowing others to do for you so you can stay grounded, so you can stay creative. So the first one is worthiness, second one is your relationship with money, and the third one is your ability to receive. The fourth is your desire. How comfortable are you even with that word desire? Do you know your desires? I'm going to use the word burning desires because that is what you might be called to heal, something that is that strong that it feels raging and burning within you. That you're comfortable to know and to carry out your desires, that your desires will come true, and that your desires is your truth. I'm going to repeat that. Your desire is your truth. You wouldn't have those desires if they weren't part of your story and they weren't meant to be. So how are you in your relationship? Like the actual lived, felt sense experience day to day with your desires. And the fifth, if you still haven't figured out what you need to heal, the last one might be time. Your relationship with time and scarcity. That you have enough. Maybe it's boundaries. Sustainability. How is your relationship with time? The third and the final thing is your relationship with abundance. This will be your sustenance as we really start to see this old world collapse. It is something that I encourage you to lean into. Your capacity to be with abundance. Let me share what abundance is. It is not leaning into positive thinking. We're going about it very incorrectly. You can't control what you think. You can redirect it when you think negatively, and that's a beautiful thing, and I strongly suggest that you do that. But your thoughts are automatic. So instead, where you can at least put effort in is in your embodiment, being connected to your body and connecting to your energy, learning energy techniques, learning alchemy techniques, that you can begin to transmute your energy and change your energy, that you are increasing your awareness, your intuition, and your capacity to feel. This will be our superpower, and this is how we're going to guide the new world. We have not been given this opportunity. It's not been safe for anyone in any gender to discern by what they feel, by their intuition. And again, we're missing half of the human intelligence when we forego our intuition. The masculine is always the brain, and the feminine is the body. And so what I'm saying is we need to feel more into our body, because we are going to birth something brand new. And if we keep approaching it from our brain, from the prefrontal cortex, we're always going to be pulling from history. We know that if we allow the masculine energy to continue, we're going to continue to repeat history, because the masculine's job is to problem solve, to fix. It's really good. We need that. But the only source it has is analytical, which is the past. It's going to pull information from the past to discern what to do for the future. And we will always repeat history. This is why we're birthing something brand new. The feminine energy, she discerns and she is guided by feeling. We are going to birth something, a whole new system. I don't know what it is, from something brand new. Something that we're going to be guided and led in doing this. And we're going to do this collaboratively. So the first thing is it's not positive thinking. It's somatics, it's embodiment, and it's your energy. So when I speak about abundance, it's being embodied, it's having flow, it's having vigor, it's being enlivened, it's living with the water element. It's not manifestation. It's not that spiritual wealth, crazy rhetoric that we're hearing right now in abundance. It is either money and safety or currency, which are two different energies. And if you're not sure what I'm speaking about, I do have a TikTok video. I can link on this, and I am going to make another YouTube video. You tend to gravitate towards one or the other. One is masculine and one is feminine. And we need to be able to co-create with both. And we all naturally gravitate to one, so we have to be more intentional with the other energy. We're going to build something that is relational. Relational economics, where our world has pacing. I'm speaking, I don't know what it will look like, right? Because I have never seen it before, and that is the surrender into the unknown. But I know it's gonna feel like there'll be more being and pacing instead of relentless growth and consumerism. That wealth isn't just in dollars, and wealth isn't just measured in accumulation, that it's also measured in time and depth and choice and desire. I think many organizations that were once run in the masculine, where you're a workhorse and there is nothing but executive functioning, and there's not a lot of pacing and flow and freedom and creative spacing and ability to be human and have space in your day and to have moments and time of being. And people are waking up to that they're worth more than that. They're worth more than just being somebody that can be replaced quickly because there's someone younger that can work harder. That we have so much more intrinsic value, and we're waking up to that. And that's why we're seeing so many large corporations that if they're not willing to pivot into a whole new way of running their organization and their leadership strategies, they're collapsing. And it's a good thing. So we're moving into systems of coherence, abundance, not from control or holding on. I believe that this is what we're going to see. And I am super excited that you've made it to the end of this video. It means that you are part of this movement. You're part of what I call the temple to the sacred feminine. So absolutely make sure you like, you subscribe, because we're going to continue to work together and journey together. If you do not want to journey alone, you want to receive, you're all in, you know you need to receive, you want to be in a receiving container, I invite you to apply for my journey to the sacred feminine. I will leave a link to apply for that program. It is a whole year-long container. Many women become ambassadors and they do it repeat. So we continually have a container of support, of growth and expansion. We need the masculine, and that's the container. But what happens in that container is a tremendous amount of healing, of growth, of support, of mystery, of archetypal wisdom, of sacred feminine energy, that when you do You do leave after a whole year. You're living from a hell yes. What that means is a full body, like you know if something is right for you, not based on what your brain tells you, but you feel it. That you are guided, you are thriving, you're abundant, you're expanded, co-creating in your masculine and feminine energies. What do I say? I could spend so much more time with you today, and I'm just going to trust that you are going to like and subscribe, and we're going to be able to continue to journey together. It is ending towards the year of 2025. You might be watching this in 2026. You might be watching this mid-year in 2026. And I'm really excited to just experience this journey with you all. So until the next video on talking about the difference between currency and money and safety, I will see you next time.